everybody. I am still just flaking out because I have been on medicine for migraines since, let's see, Sunday night the migraine started after Storms, Radios, and Cats, his live. After hanging out with them, I started to feel a little bit of a headache, and it just built and built, and I woke up in a pretty bad one on Monday. But it's good to see everybody. If you're catching us on the replay, uh, this is really titled, but I could not get up the thumbnail. It's I messed around and found out. Feeling not so fabulous Fri-Yay. So if you are watching this, I'm going to be discussing just what I took for granted during my healing journey and how hey Aid, welcome in, and how I went backwards in it because I took it for granted. But I wanted to welcome in Tamika Davis, Storms, Radios, and Cats, and Aiden Neer. This month is my birthday month, and it's my son's birthday month. And two things happened. One, I thought I'd start exercising while on an incorrect diet. I had come off or fallen off the Candida Cleanse diet. Let me just adjust this. This seems really weird. The Candida Cleanse diet, and I had added things back in bit by bit that were kind of naughty, thinking I was doing okay. Hey, the bud files, I'm going to change these. The reflection is just too much. Hold on one sec. Got a little something on there. But I had started to see what my body could handle. No, sir. Sorry, my son. We're just drinking that, right? Just drinking. Okay. There. Still, I think it's because it's so bright. Anyway, so many ums. While doing that, I attempted something I saw. It's going to sound really stupid because it was really stupid. I saw this Polynesian dancer, and it was a male. And I had just talked to Jamia, official Jamia, about these girls that do this dance routine, and I was like, okay, maybe I could learn that dance routine, but I can't do that one part where their butt just goes like up and down while they're standing up. Like, how in the world? And I was joking, and I was like, oh, well, official Jamia, maybe you could teach me. And poor official Jamia, she struggles with pain like I do, but I didn't realize that completely at the time when I was joking with her. But she was like, oh yeah, sure. So anyway, I'm watching this guy, and I'm like, this is after I realized she has chronic pain. I'm like, well, maybe, I can watch his footwork, and I can learn too. And I tried it, and I was kind of okay. I was like kind of moving things around, and it is a lot of footwork that they do. And I'm no dancer. This was just for fun. This is just to see if I could get this routine down for fun as a form of exercise, because I used to love to dance. I'm going to have to turn the brightness down. This is just really bad. I'm just getting over a migraine, so even the reflection in my glasses is bothering me. So I do this little dance, and I was like, okay, and I take a shower, and after my shower, I'm a little sore, like in my my hip flexor area. It continued to get more and more sore to where I could barely move over, I would say a day or two. And I got through, though, the rest of the week. I would say it was Saturday. I was starting to feel it more. So I took some Advil because I had been to the store with Hannah. I think it was Saturday or Sunday. And I was walking around the store just like my mom did when she had sciatica. And I was like, that's weird. Okay, so did I pull my hip flexor, or is this sciatica? Did I mess up, inflame that? Because I have had sciatica in the past. Anyway, yeah, don't do Polynesian dancing or attempt it right out the gate. Do something a little less forceful in movement. If you have chronic pain, because what I did end up doing was I strained my hip flexor and aggravated the sciatica both. That's right. I know. I'm not 20 anymore, but the 20 person inside needs to calm down. Gear, welcome in. Welcome in. Shawnee, good to see you. So yeah, that actually felt like that whole meme of like, don't break a hip. So yeah, that started the pain, and then once the pain started to escalate, my diet started to catch up with me, which was, hey, I'll eat what I want. And we had like fried chicken for July 4th that was from Publix. I made some coleslaw, and I forget what else I had on my plate. I had mango on my plate, but I just wasn't eating right. I got a little gluten-free cake. At least I tried some gluten-free there, but I was really not eating like hey, Terry Jones, like I knew I should be eating. So like I said on Sunday night, when I was at Storms Radius and Cats, his live, and we go late. I forget what time I left there, Barry. I think it was like maybe 11:30, and a headache started to build, and I was like, oh no, this kind of feels like a migraine. Well, I haven't had a migraine in forever, and I had requested they drop down my progesterone dose on my bioidentical hormones too. So it was basically a storm that I created myself with the bad diet of letting in inflammatory foods again, and then the progesterone, which usually helps block the migraines. All together, I woke up in a migraine Monday when I'm supposed to take my daughter, could not take her to work, had to call my husband to come home. He stayed home. I think it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe, or I can't even remember. It's such a blur. And even my brain, I am not functioning at capacity still yet, because it was a 3-day long migraine. I've never had one last that long. So I will not I will not be going back to the crap food diet. I have to maintain. Yeah, it was around 11:30. Okay. I have to maintain something like the Candida cleanse diet, which is, less inflammatory foods. I have been having fruit. Today, what I did have was a smoothie. No, sir. You calm down. Give me that. Let me see hold on 1 second. Yeah, that's what I want. No, I don't want your drink. I want the block. I want to see what you're doing with it. Give me that for a second. Not your drink. No, no, no. All right, but I'll take it just so nothing happens. He's volunteering it, so I'll hold on to it. Careful. Your hands are fine. Yeah, your toe. Be careful. Okay. It's always something as soon as I go live. It was fine. Been getting ocular migraines more often than normal. Wow. Okay. Yeah, and that's what I figured too. The other piece was we hadn't gotten any rain, and suddenly we're getting lightning. And when we have lightning storms here, I get migraines. Like, it doesn't even have to be over my house. It can be 20 miles away, and there's something in with that electricity in the air that does something with my sensitive system, and I end up migraining. And they are like an ocular, but I don't get the the visual prior. I haven't gotten the visual, and I didn't notice the visual, but I was sleeping. I woke up in it, so I didn't. The aura, that's what it's called. I didn't have an aura, but I did have the pain behind my right eye, like you said. Hey, Passamaquoddy. And I was wondering if it was sinus. So, I was taking decongestant, but I was down for the count. Then also having the sciatica. The only thing that has helped is doing the heat, cool, that I got some relief finally last night. Like, I couldn't believe that I created basically the perfect storm for me to go down into it would be considered a fibro flare, but I know I did the lower portion of my body to myself, and I also did part of the upper portion, but then there were things that combined with it that I didn't plan, and it just made for the perfect storm for chronic pain overload. Hey, Shawnee, welcome in. Oh, I just did story time. And no pain with it, just the annoying visual hallucinations. Oh, okay. Yeah, the auras usually. I'm pretty sure that's what you call them, where you get to see all kinds of fun things and show. It's like a light show that you didn't plan on seeing. But so today, what I did do to try and push my way back towards, the Candida kind of cleanse diet or clean foods is I had frozen mulberries from my garden, from my tree. I have frozen bananas from my tree or plant. And I went out, please don't do that. I went out and picked some moringa and I made a smoothie out of that and just water. That's all I put in there. Sorry. It's always the hair. So I had one of those. For breakfast, I had just a scrambled egg. I did use some of that Slap Ya Mama seasoning on it. Probably gonna have to maybe go off peppers and just see too. Like it's really an elimination diet. I have to go back to the elimination diet again and just clean stuff out and be careful of inflammatory things that might have made this way worse than it needed to be. Not to mention I have no control over the weather, and the weather made it a lot worse too. But I have never, ever had a migraine like that. Like I wanted to cry, but knew I couldn't cry because that would inflame it more, make it worse. Because when you get migraines, what happens is too, it congests your sinuses. It's not necessarily your sinuses are congested, you get a migraine. Migraines cause some kind of inflammatory response and you suddenly have that congestion. Because I've looked into and read about, like, why does that happen? I wasn't congested before I had this migraine. Migraine did it. But what I was wondering was how everybody else was doing coming off of July 4th and all those, like barbecue. That was the other thing. I made barbecue ribs, and I don't think I can do too much pork anymore, like at least not fatty pork. And that kind of goes along with, I was having gout symptoms when I was doing quite a bit of the carnivore, trying to do carnivore. Yeah, sinus migraines are really bad. But they mess with your sinuses anyway. So then if you have sinus problems before the migraine then makes them like 10 times worse. I want to say it. Yeah, I have to agree with you. I am actually on, and that's another thing too. It's allergy season. Oh, one of the things I realized, I'm laying there and I'm like, oh, why am I so cold in bed? Like, well, the AC is blowing right on me, and I have a heating pad wrapped around my hip. So it's like this part of me was like chilly. But I'm like, wait a minute, AC blowing on me. I'm congested. I need to check the filter and see what, yeah, it needed to be changed. It was like May 16th or something. And we get those 3M ones now that are supposed to be, like HEPA filtration. We've always had good filters because of the asthma and allergies. Let me see. Okay. Never heard that. Oh, you poor thing. 2 corneal eye transplant surgeries. Wow. They just like detached. Hey, Miss Sharon, welcome in. Good to see you. They just detached, Terry. Is that why? If I can ask. Um, wow. Okay, so I'm Pred Forte. Is that prescription only? Because maybe that, if it's not prescription only, that might be something even Barry could, that might help him. But yeah, that was a shocker. I've never had a 3-day migraine. If it was going to go on another day, I was going to have to go to either an ER or, the walk-in emergency. And, when you don't feel good, I was thinking, with this new insurance that we got, I don't even know who is covered. I do know that like I can go into like a CVS, they have these minute clinics, but I feel weird about that. I'll have to go in and check them out and see like who is operating in them, because it would be strange. Like if you're not seeing an actual doctor or a nurse practitioner. But then again, the pharmacists know so much about the drugs anyway. They're better equipped sometimes to say like, oh yeah, this is used for such and such, and probably write you a prescription than some of the doctors are. Um, but yeah, total nightmare. But I started to climb back up with the foods that I know are safe, which is hard to do after you've had all the crappy foods in your house. Hey, Cool Gamer 2, welcome in. Just I boiled some eggs to have those ready to go. I have this really cool, it's like canned salmon, but it's in like sardine things, and it's in like a lemon olive oil. That's pretty good. Like, and I had that the other day because I was like, okay, what do I have anti-inflammatory and also that is safe for me to eat, that's not going to send me backwards. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, I have that salmon. I'll eat that. Tonight will probably be, I will make steak because I have to make it, but I might end up just having the salmon on salad. I was going to, slice some steak and put it on salad. But I'm going to drop the link if any of you like want to come up. It was pretty much just story time and what I'm doing to get back on track because, yeah, I, like how people say I effed around and found out. I did that with my diet, with movements that my 20-year-old self on the inside thought they could still do, even though the outside is no longer 20. In fact, I will be 54 this month, and I'm like, no way. No way. Yeah, I wasn't paying that close of attention, Miss Sharon. That's what got me. It's like, I guess, I mean, I don't know. Usually I'm pretty good about, okay, let me introduce this. And I fell off the diet, like the candida, and I don't even remember the cleanse, what I fell off with. I can't remember what the food was. I was like, oh, well, I'll get back on it. And then I was like, well, I'm not getting back on it because July's my birthday. I want to, oh, thanks, Storms. I want to still, have cake. I want to have ice cream. I want to have the things that I know I'm not supposed to. So why go back on? And I'm just going to fall back off. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. You're like a miracle. Okay, it's prescription only. Hey, Nancy. Hello. Oh, thank you. It's early yet. His comes first. Mine's at the end of the month, but thank you. Yeah, July 30th. It's mine. Malachi is halfway. His is really soon. It's the 15th. Right? It's not. I know, right? That's what I would love too. You hit the sweet spot. That or like for some reason I've just been craving fried chicken lately. Like I will get on a pizza kick or, fried chicken or tacos, like all the things that we know we're not, or cheeseburgers. And I love a good cheeseburger. But yeah, I'm going to have to modify it. I'm going to have to figure out some way around it. Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, the caffeine I still need to whittle away. And because I was looking at, again, like refreshing myself with what is okay for fibro, what is not. And caffeine was on the list as a not. And corn, which I kind of knew corn was not, but of course, popcorn once in a while. I wasn't really eating a lot of it, but my son likes it. And the last 2 times before I got sick, I made some for myself, and that was a big mistake. No, it's not good every once in a while. You missed my story, our treasured home. No, it's not. You have to know you can't be eating bread and have an inflammatory condition like fibromyalgia. You're supposed to stay away from that stuff, from gluten, from all the other things. Because once you do, that inflammation builds on itself. It doesn't just go away. It lasts in your body, and the cells stay inflamed. And then say you try another inflammatory food on it, then the inflammation stays and it's always there. It's no, it's really not. That's what I'm saying. Oh, sweet tea's your demon? Yeah, I know, you're cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger. But this is what I thought too, our treasured home. I bought into that. Like, well, everybody says it's okay once in a while. But the problem is it doesn't become a once in a while. It becomes a, oh, I'll do this. And you can set off the glucose like cycle or the sugar craving cycle with your breads, with something that has sugar in it, barbecue sauce during the holiday, I had a reaction between the pork and the fatty pork and the barbecue sauce. Just made fried chicken. Oh, ooh, that sounds good. That sounds amazing. I can't do Parmesan. Yeah, that's the other one I have to leave. I'm going to have to leave dairy because I did also have yogurt. And this seems simple and it sounds very healthy, but for me, it's inflammatory. And, not everybody has the same things that set them off, but a lot of people do. That's how they're able to write articles on it and say this is what's been proven to inflame people with, fibromyalgia, lupus, um, rheumatoid arthritis, all the things. Yeah, sweet tea is a hard one when you're caught up in drinking that and from your childhood too. We used to just drink like regular iced tea Lipton with mint. So I never got into a lot of the sweet teas. My thing right now, and I'm not even drinking that much of it. In fact, I'm going to pour this away. I can't. I was drinking those to help with energy and not drink something worse. But I think I had low energy because of the inflammation too. Yeah, the dairy. That sucks. I mean, this is what I had, the honey and this, and I also with the cinnamon, I put the cinnamon in there. Cinnamon balances out the sugar usually with things, but nope, nope, not for me. And cinnamon can, if you have IC, which is interstitial cystis, I think is how you say it. It's a hard word. Anyway, it has to do with your bladder lining is more sensitive to things, and overabundance of cinnamon, not a good thing. Moon over Miami. Welcome in. Oh, not yet. It's 30th, the 30th of this month. His is the 15th, so his comes first. I get to strain my. Oh, cool. Let me know how that is. You know what it said I'm not supposed to have either? And I've had a reaction to it. Yeast. How am I supposed to? I mean, I can make the baking soda bread, like the baking soda vinegar bread, I think is what they use to cause the bread to rise. But that was seeing that again, it was like, oh, okay. So that's confirmation of how I felt before, like, especially on kombucha, like that stuff. I loved it in the beginning and then got thrush and the headaches. It was like, oh, yeah, it is a lot of trial and error. And I think that is for everybody. But, just this whole idea that we have with um, moderation, it doesn't apply to those of us who have things that are, like fibromyalgia or RA or lupus or any of those things. Like there's even something I just read about that it's mostly in your upper torso. And this poor woman, like she had even her organs were moved up. It was really, I didn't get to finish the whole article, but I was like, wow, I never heard of that. That's a new one. but she too would struggle with all kinds of inflammatory food and just weird reactions to things. But and just seeing too what they're doing to our fruits and vegetables, I really need to get more. Like I need an avocado tree. That was another thing I did eat. I ate an avocado, just peeled it and pretty much cut it up and ate the whole thing, which I like. I enjoy that. That's a healthy fat. Uh, lime and salt a little bit, but I even have to go easy on citrus. It's like I feel like I had this big thing of foods I could choose from, and it's narrowing in so much, and it's so frustrating. I do notice though, when the hormones are in balance, it's better. As far as I hadn't had a migraine in quite a while. And when the hormones aren't in balance, I was having migraines a lot. I just don't want to be on the progestin by itself, like the doctor had me on, because that was the one that could lead to breast cancer. Plus, if you're just doing progestin, where is the balancing out with the estrogen? So yeah, it's a lot of revamping and revisiting and a lot of figuring out. And then you feel like that person, like I think it was Ada has this meme, like basically, oh, we don't eat gluten free, we don't eat that, so what can we have? Like basically, there's the door. You can have the door. You can leave at a restaurant. And I'm like, oh no, I'm that person. I know that's the thing too. It's true. I know. Right, Barry? That's so true. A lot of us are struggling too with the prices. And I'm the same way. I can't, like, pastas and pasta sauce, can't do it. I can't. I'm not supposed to really even have much tomato at all. Not just because it's a nightshade, but because it's irritating to the other inflammatory thing that's supposed to be autoimmune, which is weird because they still sometimes are saying like fibromyalgia is not autoimmune. And it's like, I think you're full of you know what, because I think fibromyalgia is in that people that they're diagnosing with fibromyalgia, who they can't figure out basically, does this person have lupus? Does this person have RA? Okay, they don't pass that test, so they must be fibro. I think later on we're going to find out it's a different type of autoimmune, that people have had these similar symptoms altogether. The only problem is you can't assume, like this headache, oh, it's the fibromyalgia. Oh, it's the, like that's the fibro. No, I overexerted myself. That was me. The overreaction might be the fibromyalgia. Yeah, no goji berry though. Goji berry is a nightshade. I love goji berry juice too. It's delicious. But yeah, the hibiscus. I actually had grown out of the box, gave me a tea. I took a picture of it on my phone. A different mixture of stuff too for deep sinus, but one of them is like it's not a tea, it's you take a shot of it to help with the deep sinus cavities. Yes, RA, I'm sorry, is rheumatoid arthritis. Yep. Oh, yeah. That sounds good. That sounds good, but I can't have pasta. I do actually use the red lentil, and that seems to be okay. The red lentil pasta, I don't seem to react to. Regular pasta, I do. But yeah, you know, it's is what it is. I'm just like you said, trying to figure it out. But the herb iced tea, yeah, I have herbal iced tea. I just need to make it. I did make sleepy time tea for myself though when I was having the headache. It did seem to help me get some rest. And that's the one that has the valerian in it. I did notice though too, because my pain was so bad, I went back on one of my medications, just like one more like I had gone down to half the amount. And it was really hard to get off each pill because I had to do it 100 milligrams at a time. Because what it does is it suppresses activity in the brain because it's used for epilepsy. So it slows down the reactions. I don't like being on it because it slows down my brain reactivity. And that's how you get like a lot more out of me. I usually have everything crash at once. Right? That's what happened. It was like totally everything at one time. Yeah, right? I'm sure. And now I don't even know, like, I guess I could try those. I have bought them before, the cassava shells, but I just bought a bunch of corn shells on, BOGO. And I'm like, I can't. My husband will gladly eat them. He likes it when, we have tacos and I make tacos, but I can't eat those now. Yay! Welcome to the stage, Barry Storms Radius.
Hey. Hello, sis. Hello, chat.
Hey. What is this? Autoimmune disease. Person's immune system. Thank you. Yes, that is. Yep. Thankfully, it's not going. Fibro isn't going after my organs. Thankfully, that's more lupus. Rheumatoid arthritis even goes after your bones. My bones were, really rough. How you doing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a lot
the weather.
Yeah.
Not a lot of energy. Is that what you said? Oh. I was going to say in our little group, like, I haven't heard from Barry. I hope he's okay. The
so
weather.
humid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I feel like that too, Miss Sharon, and just start over. But then I get so hungry. So maybe a detox on, I don't know. Can we detox on good food? That's what I'm trying to do. Detox on more whole food.
Johnny.
But yeah, I was just watching something too on YouTube about I'm trying to figure out how to say it without getting dinged. The new spray-on stuff that they're putting on our fruits and vegetables that Jilly Bates came up with, that they're even saying they're going to put it on organic fruits and vegetables now to help them not spoil. Yeah, has some toxic ingredients. Oh, are you leaving, Nancy? All right. Have a good day. And I hope you didn't take offense to how I said that, but I'm like, no cheating. If you watch the beginning, you'll understand. 3-day migraine and in bed for 3 days and needing my husband to stay home from work. I can't afford to cheat on my diet. Makes you feel lost. What to make for yourself? Yes, it does. Eat as well. Exactly. And then you have to feed your family too. As a parent, it does. But even as a person, just okay. When you said later, I thought you were.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying. Like, see you later.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Oh no! He just got here. I'm
gonna go in the room in the kitchen to get my coffee. But,
oh, okay. Yeah, that's understandable. And now I'm drinking that black, and it's like so not enjoyable.
No, it's not.
But that'll help me break the caffeine habit easier, which I did break it for quite a while, and then we got Malachi, and he didn't sleep through the night. And
I had it up at night, but I've not quit it altogether. I'm not going to because I can't.
Yeah, I had to create a bin. Oh, that's a great idea. That's a good idea, Shawnee. Yeah, I have that within my little small pantry here, and then some in the cabinet back there. Some of my stuff that's for pretty much me. They're not going to be drinking my herbal teas. But what was going on with you? You just started to have the visual, not the headaches, you were saying? The visuals of your... ocular migraine.
I'm not sure because sometimes it's when I've been on the computer doing stuff,
Yeah.
and I thought, well, maybe it's fatigue. And then it happened the next day. It's like, what?
Oh.
Whoa. And then
Yeah.
go like a couple days, and then boom, I had another one. And it
Wow.
starts up really tiny, and it like this.
Oh, weird.
And then you can't see it anymore once it gets
Past your
so
ears. Like you're going through a vortex or something.
very, very slowly. Very just
Real slow. Oh, wow.
yeah. It's
That
so
would be
annoying.
freaky. Like at least the first time it happens before you look it up. That would be so freaky to happen. I've had something like that. It's like lights, right? Do you see it? It's like a light, kind of.
Remember those kaleidoscopes that you got as a kid, cardboard?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, just imagine, constant lines that are in sort of almost the shape of your, not your eye, but the surrounding area of your eye. And then, it's like constantly doing this. It's hard to explain with pens. But
yeah, no, they move. It's not a solid line. Yeah, I've only had one. Oh, that's a good idea. You could make some mint tea with your mint. Yeah.
Yes, I actually have. Yeah.
It's good and
I
nice.
dried it out. Of all things, I dried it out in my toaster oven.
Oh, that's a good idea. I've done that with the oven.
Keep your food warm setting. Yeah, that's what I did.
I've done that with our oven with moringa. Oh, that's what I brought. My show and tell is my moringa. Whee! There's some. Oop! There you go, moringa.
Oh, it's
that was what I brought in for my smoothie. You don't want to use too much of it. It's
see the green light. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay. Hey, hi, lovely Samaria. Welcome in.
God, take your cup with you, Barry.
Yeah, that would help. Take your cup with you to fill it up. You okay? What's wrong? Is he scaring you? Is he? Okay. You want to come over? Come over in Mimi's lap? I'm Mimi. Got my daughter's little dog while she's at work. I mean, my daughter lives with us, but this is her baby. It's her baby pretty much. She's a good girl. And she, come here. She's a messy girl. She needs to get a bath and a haircut. And that's, oops, sorry about my mic. That's what I usually do. I groom her. Oops, hold on. Let me have that back. What I do is, well, with this one, oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's a big question. It depends. Where is your pain in your back? Lower, upper, both? Are you dealing with any other kind of pain, any kind of headaches? But one of the first things you can do is, of course, use what I'm doing right now with my sciatica is I'm using the heat and the ice and rotating it on the spot. Try to adopt an anti-inflammatory diet, which is what I'm going back to because I just set off all my inflammation trying to dance around when I shouldn't have done that. Hey, DCPs. I'm a walking, talking headache, but it's because of solid object. Yeah, the impact 23 years ago. When I don't mind, they don't matter. The heat and cold help you too. To get back to how do you use moringa? I've dried it before, just like Barry said how he dried his, but I did it on the lowest setting in my oven because it's about equal to a dehydrator. And then of course, you take it off the larger stems. You don't, with moringa, really want the stems in your stuff. You're still going to end up with, I don't know if you can see it, the super fine stems. You're still going to end up with some of those little tiny sticks because sometimes they'll just go this way down through the screen. You can eat it raw. if you like that sort of thing.
Hmm.
Are you sleeping on that side a lot, lovely Samaria? Because that's the side I have to sleep on. But it sounds like your back is misaligned. So you might want to look up different stretches for that, for a misaligned back. But I sleep on my left side, and sometimes I just get sore from doing that. And there's also videos on how to sleep comfortably if you're like a side sleeper, like tips and tricks. I use a lot of pillows. I use a pillow between my knees. I'm careful about how elevated my head is, so it's not like this way cricked or this way cricked. But yeah, the back is so tricky. But the other thing, anyway, I dry it, Miss Sharon. Once I dry it, I put it in just like a seasoning container, and I use it on foods like it was parsley. You can also use that same, like I grind it just in a blender. I think I did it last time in my blender, I believe. I have like one of those Ninja. I have a Ninja. And you can pack it into capsules too. I just blended it in my smoothie, but I try to take off the leaves and just strip it and put those in. And if you're doing a little bit of that every day, you can also make it into a tea.
I don't think I've ever had it.
No, I need to send you maybe a cutting and see if you can root it, or even, yeah, I'm not a fan of the taste. That's why I mix it with something like berries to kind of conceal berries to conceal the taste. Yeah, pillow between the knees. Yes, they do help. I agree. Also, they do have those knee pillows. Brenda's not in here right now, but she also suffers with chronic pain, and she says those pillows they're curved like this. You'll see them sometimes online, and then they're like boxed on the other side, so it's got a curve and a box at the top. She said that helps her pelvis not get out of line compared to a regular pillow. When you're sleeping too, that's one thing you have to be careful. I sleep like I am on the spectrum. It's a tuck that some spectrum people do. I do the tuck, and I curl over like almost in fetal position a little bit. I have to consciously make myself not do that, so your back isn't, so you're not all hunched over. I know. Because it used to be like my covers, and I would hunch, and I live in Florida.
It's almost fetal position with me. It's always on my left side.
Then rotate it. Samaria, this is the ugliest thing, but it helps. And I got it, I think, at Walmart. I'm going to take it off and show you that I have it on right now. I'm doing my cool treatment. This one's called Smart Temp, and it has a cool pack in it. It doesn't freeze solid. It stays just cool, and it's gel. And so this is washable, which is great. And then I got this new thing for my head because I get migraines, but something like it open might work for your neck, like your left side. You said, oh no, your shoulder. This will work for your shoulder too. But the other thing for those of us who do get migraines and headaches, there's something like this with gel in it too. The only thing is I got it and realized it's not open to wash the cover, which was kind of a bummer, but it helped a lot. It helped a lot. Yeah, you can end up using too much, and then you taste. It's got a strong taste. Even GT, GT came home with it on a live. Were you there when GT was like, "Look what I got," and it was the moringa, and I was like, "Go ahead, try some, GT. Just go ahead. Do it on our live. Let's see what happens." And his face was so cute. He was like that's a really strong taste, but he doesn't not like it. He said it's fine. It's just something to get used to because GT is always so positive. But I think it tastes like horseradish and grass had a baby, which isn't very appealing. So yeah, Miss Sharon, just mix it maybe in a smoothie with a berry that you prefer, that you like the taste of because berries are low glycemic and they're anti-inflammatory.
Just come here to Kentucky, my backyard, and just have at
Scoop
it.
up,
All
scoop up
kinds of
all those
blackberries.
blackberries. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. I miss that from up north. I don't
I
miss
might
having to
even
keep
share
up with
some
them.
elderberries. Might.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, and the stretching exercises help, and that's what I should have done rather than dancing around like I thought I was a Polynesian princess. Live and learn. Time for key to long-term recovery.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never learned.
I don't ever. I know, what is that? Like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah, you're like,
But
don't do that again. About 2 days later, you do it again. What? What?
I know. I ate that again. Yeah, I was just saying to my husband, I wish we had an inversion table, but we have no place for it with little Malachi, so he'd probably break it or get hurt on it. But yeah, my mom used to have the one that hangs on the door too for her neck. For her neck. And my husband's gone and gotten like some of those where they decompress your spine. Yeah, I imagine you have to start slowly with them. I can't even do pull-ups because of how it stretches my back muscles too quickly. We had that pull-up bar. Always talking about thank you. It does help. It does help, thank God. Take care that you do not use either the heat or cold too long at a time. You want to give the skin a break. Yes, this is true. Thank you for mentioning that, DCBs. That's very true. Very true. Those tether inversion tables are awesome. Different brand, but it's help. Yeah, and sometimes I've seen them on offer up because people just run out of space and don't have them. You want one that you can tip up yourself because God forbid you don't want those boots that they used to have in the doorway. Remember them? They hook in and you get all that blood rushing to your head and then you can't bend up and unhook yourself. You're like, what are you going to do? Or no.
Yeah, they were made for like Arnold or Atlas,
I did something similar, but it was just the heating pad on my side and the ice on the neck, and I got sleep, Shawnee. It does help. It did help. But granted, I was doing the Advil Tylenol rotation when I had the migraine. One thing I do know now is you have to look at certain medications too that can raise your blood pressure that you're taking during your migraines, and you're thinking, oh, if I just take more of that pain medicine that I have for fibro, now you got to look and see if it raises blood pressure because you might be causing more problems.
That's what I do now. Let's see, it was 15, 20 years ago, I screwed up this shoulder. And I had to go to physical therapy because I had actually ripped a tendon. You literally could hear it.
By the way, I have a lovely pillow behind me. Speaking of therapy, go ahead.
Yeah, I just, to this day, I still do the same thing that therapists did.
Oh, all the exercises that they told you when you start to feel it act up?
Yeah. Well, I just did what they did during therapy because I had to go to therapy.
Yeah.
About the same amount of time as they were saying. So,
wow.
Which works,
What did they say? Did you have an impingement?
It's been so long, hon. I can't remember, but it's like
I know. I understand. It would be too.
It literally sounded like somebody took a flap off of a cardboard box and went, tore it.
And tore it. That sounds like.
Ooh. I was like, oh, can't move. I was trying to pick up a sewing machine, one of those old thingers.
And it just tore.
Ooh. Yeah, those sewing machines have got the case and everything to them.
Yeah.
Always heavy as hell.
Yeah, I remember those old ones.
Why try to pick it up with your right arm because I'm right-handed when it's on your left side? Why not use your left arm to pick it up? when I
Like, how
did,
many of us have pulled our backs out doing stuff like that too?
I
Wow.
wasn't thinking. I was
No,
just like, I'm right-handed. Why not turn around and pick it up with your right arm?
wow. Yeah, I worked in the mailroom at Chase Manhattan when I was young, and one of the things I was getting like back issues because of the packages and stuff that we would have to mail out. I think there was maybe 3 of us that worked there. And I don't remember who told me in the mailroom, like, oh, yeah, always face what you're picking up. Don't ever twist. So even you've got to move your whole body, not just in this. Like, it's got to be your whole body moving if you can. And yeah, it helped me quite a bit. But I mean, like, to get the work done, it's like you can't always pivot all the time if you're on a schedule and you forget and then you end up hurting your back again
Yeah, we were in
doing
a
it.
hurry.
Yeah. Well, I did it too. I mean, it's a good thing I wasn't picking up one. I know exactly what type of sewing machines you're talking about because they had the hard shell on the out, and the whole thing was metal underneath and like this thick, the metal, like the
Yeah.
older ones. Yeah. I
Hmm.
found one on the side of the road, picked it up. The sucker was heavy. Ended up giving it to a friend. Yeah, do you see that's happened to me? Hold on, I want to go back to that. That's happened to me with certain things I wanted to go back to school for, and then I saw how many years it was going to take me to do that, whatever. And I was like, nope, I don't have that kind of time to give anything anymore. If it's shorter and it's a certificate, sure. Yeah, I still do a lot of the stretches and exercises. They do become a part of my life. Kind of. Yeah, I bet after doing it for that long and for that many days a week. Struck in the head by. Wow. Oh my goodness. And you don't, I bet you don't recall what step you were on. That could have killed you. You're very blessed that you made it through. Oh my goodness. Then I hit the concrete head first. I also do not recall that. Well, I'm kind of glad that you have amnesia on that. Not glad that it happened to you, but I think our bodies protect us that way sometimes when we've been through so much like extreme pain. They just black it out. They just black out those moments. I had one of those old, right? Like, I think we all have. My mom had a built in one that was really cool that was like that solid metal in this pop up desk. Come to find out, I think it was my dad's ex wives who never came and got it. Or like she caused so much trouble, it just never, like, she didn't sew with it. So my mom ended up using it. Mom was a good sport. But then again, my mom had the furniture from her first husband. They had the bedroom furniture, and my sister ended up getting that years and years later because it was her dad. And I'm like, okay, I could never, I can't imagine sleeping on the same, didn't bother them because they were so in love with each other. And they had been long divorced from these people, but it was just odd. Like when I heard that, I'm like, wait a minute, what? Oh, this, what?
Mhm.
Like, wow, dad's a good sport. Let's see. I was the
I'm trying,
topic of it. Wow.
let me answer Randy real quick. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but
No, go
it's,
ahead. My neurologists have never seen someone take the level of trauma and survive. If they did not be, wow, you're a true miracle. Just like Terry was with his eye surgery. Wow. And being able to, yeah, see, like, oh my goodness. That is unbelievable. Oh my goodness. Wow. I can't imagine. So did they have, like, how were they even keeping down the swelling on your brain from that trauma in the hospital? Is that when you get like hooked up to, oh, thanks, Miss Sharon. That was so nice. Um, like, is that when they just, you're all on tubes and everything? And I imagine they had, wait, what? There was no swelling? or there was no hospital time. Wow. Oh, thank you, Miss Sharon. Yeah, I got to get past McQuaddy now that she's got her phone. We got to get her making some more videos again. That would be great. That would be wonderful. But yeah, the stretching is really important, and I need to get back to that for sure. Hey, Baby Bear Shorts, welcome in. Oh, Baby Bear. So cute. Yeah, I need to get back to stretching, I guess, first, is what I learned from this lesson I taught myself, you know, not to try Polynesian dance moves when, you haven't been exercising for years. I think sometimes we consider like our daily activity, especially if we have like Malachi is daily activity. Like he's quite a bit of activity, but we think that that counts as exercise, and it doesn't. Like you're not necessarily intentionally conditioning your muscles or your joints. And yeah, and it's so easy to forget that they've aged as they have. When I went into the hospital that day, they ran every test and sent me home. What? I only spent overnight. That's crazy. I can't believe that. My laughter is from shock. Do you see? That's what? Nothing. They didn't like ice pack, just a neck brace for a truss falling on you. Oh, wow. There's no, sir. Brain bleeder pressure. But it all broke up. What do you mean by all broke up? Oh, two of the fractures. Okay. Two of the fractures on the back side of my head near my left ear were from the kinetic force traveling out of my head. So I imagine they repaired that though. So that was your one night stay, and then they just sent you home? That's crazy. Your hospital really sucks. I'm sorry. God forgive me, but what? Okay, I thought hospitals were bad now, but you got blunt force trauma of like 700 pounds to the head. You get one night stay and they send you home in a neck brace. That just seems insane to me, DC. You poor man. Oh my goodness, you poor man. That must have been really traumatic. I can't. Yeah, they're by the grace of God. I'm just grateful that, he took good care of you, because that, you think your life is like intense with, my 3-day migraine. And then I listen to DC and it's like, oh, okay, I'll take my 3-day migraine over that any day. Well, the cerebral membrane is very close on the back side of the head, and that force tore a hole. The next morning, fluid is leaking into my. Oh, yikes. So I guess the brain did its own thing to relieve the pressure. Hey, M&T, welcome in. You missed my story time of my ridiculous antics. I know, right? It sounds like it went to mine too. It's terrible. But I mean, it sounds like he went to mine in these modern, like, last couple of years. Like, it's gotten worse and worse. Yeah, Miss Sharon's awesome. Miss Sharon, when you feel up to it, I'd love to see more shorts from you. Oh my goodness, she's on a roll again. You're awesome. Yeah, I'm still recouping. I'm still not back. Last night I couldn't. I had to have Theron come home. Well, I had to have him get Hannah because I couldn't drive. My lower back was just screaming. And then, of course, late last night, when I've got all my stronger medications are at night, or at least the amount I take is stronger at night so I can sleep. And he comes out here, and I had also added some Tylenol for the back. He comes out here, and I'm reading articles like on pain. I found out like our amygdala, I guess, is where our emotions reside, but also where pain chemicals circulate. And I was reading something about how it's like our mind can, of course, as you guys know, create pain and make it like more worse, like how we emotionally feel about that pain, how we might have
all too well.
Yeah, or how we might have a reference point of a certain pain, like a migraine, and it causes anxiety, which increases the pain level. So, yeah, it was kind of an interesting article, but then I was like, I got to get to bed. But he came out and
But
saw
I
me.
have thrives on stress.
Yeah,
So
that too.
if I catch myself, or sometimes, I mean, there's that time where you catch yourself, it's already too late. Damn, she's done. You're in pain. I try to do whatever I can to calm not just my body but my mind, so that my body has a chance to recuperate a little bit better. Even though it takes me like 2 or 3 days to recuperate.
Yeah, and that's true. That's the same thing with the migraine, the added stress of like, oh no, here's migraine, then having to have Theron take off. Oh no, he's going to be ticked that he's, missing work and having to balance out his schedule. Wow, DC, I'm glad your mom took you back. Okay, that makes more sense to me because them just sending you home and you were that critical. But I mean, that happened to my sister and my dad who were in a really bad car accident. They got T-boned. The hospital just sent them home too. Just, yep. Dad had actually fractured his neck in the back and he had Alzheimer's, so he couldn't really say. You could tell he was in pain.
Yeah.
But I think they did the same thing for him, DCBs. They gave him a neck brace. I don't know if they gave him any pain medication. Worse was my sister who was driving. She had her pelvis shattered. So when she got back up to her husband came down to get her. She couldn't drive, of course. Her husband came down to get her, and they took her to their hospital because she was still in excruciating pain, and they found out that she had fractured pelvis.
Yeah.
I like to say that if I hadn't believed in Jesus before it. Yeah, right. To get through it. Yeah, I was doing a lot of praying during that 3-day thing. I was like, please don't let this be something else, God. Because of, strokes being in the family. I was so nervous. Like you get to this age and we have a friend who's been through a stroke and she was, on the younger side, like in her 50s. It's a possibility. So, yeah, totally DCBs. It's definitely when you start talking to God about things, I think even, if you've had any kind of time that was pleasant with him, like some people have had traumatic experiences with, religion and they think that that's him, but it's not.
Say hi to MT Living in.
Yeah, I did.
I don't say hi.
God can heal all things. Yeah. I thought so. You were. I didn't want to say. Yep. Yeah. Which is younger than I am right now. I'm 53. And that was the thing that was scary too, was I didn't know if anybody else was feeling that pressure, and Passamaquoddy even was feeling it. It was like I had high blood pressure, but I don't. So why am I feeling like I have high blood pressure too the last couple of days? And I'm like, is this the sunstorms on top of everything? Like doing that? Like what is going on? Because it's not just...
I'm really not sure. And now scientists are saying that the Earth's core has reversed. So we got that.
What? The Earth's core reversed? and we're still here. What?
You
That
know,
seems weird.
science,
Doesn't that,
science.
yeah, just like how we weren't supposed to question. I know. Yeah. Don't question science, but believe in science. But
Uh,
don't question it.
I believe in
But that,
science and a
yeah,
Scientologist.
yeah, that was the thing I took critical
Oh,
impact. But even the level of damage, it wasn't the critical damage it should have been. Wow, the doctor's going to explain it. That's amazing. They tried to send me home, and my mom had the discharge papers in her hand, and I was like, I can't even move my leg. And I ended up in the hospital for 5 days. Oh, you too. Fractured pelvic and broken ribs. Oh my goodness. God bless you. And they tried to just send you home. What is wrong with our system after a
joke.
car accident? Like, what? They just don't want to do their job. Like, that's what
Yeah.
I think it is. I think it's not even, you know, to care for people anymore. It's like it's a job to them and they're just not in the mood that day. Like, what? Did they get kickbacks for not keeping people in? And
Dollar stuff, you know.
I don't get it.
Well, I mean, just like my county, you know, our law enforcement favors the addicts over the people who aren't addicts.
Oh, this is what DCB heard. He said that, yeah, the core actually stopped for a short while and reversed. It was part of how they figured out there is an inner core in the inner core just recently. How did they figure that out? Like, who drills down that deep?
They don't drill; they use seismographs to,
Oh, like what they do for earthquakes? Read.
yeah, like
Oh,
seismographs, and then they use something like sonar.
that's so crazy. Yeah, right. Signs of the times, totally.
Yeah,
I think it's really important that people understand that the earth and space can have an effect on our health. Yes, I agree. I agree. I definitely agree with that. Yeah,
just
mathematics. Whatever that is. No. I was an art major. Like math? Yeah. I know about money and buying things and, saving for things. Yeah, algebra? No. No, no, thank you. It's looking good, Barry.
I don't know. Gotta go back outside. I'm starting to see
Yeah,
this.
probably. What's that? What is that
This
on it?
those brown spots I saw when I bought it from Walmart.
Oh,
Starting to get them
wow.
again.
Yeah.
I brought it in
Well,
because the heat was killing it.
Walmart ruined. Yeah, I probably need it in a shady spot. No, I can't. Like at this time, I can't grow it for sure.
Dark Paw likes how it smells.
Oh, you didn't
Yeah.
sleep well. Oh, you're here making your. Thank you for staying. I need the watch hours. I'm 22 away from my 3,000. Yay! I
Awesome.
just saw it today. Of course, it's going to go backwards and forwards over that number for a bit. Okay,
Yeah.
Passamaquoddy.
I
I
wouldn't
hope you get
stress
some
over.
sleep. Yeah, I'm
Take
trying
care,
not
Pastor.
to. I think that's probably part of my not feeling well too, is I got too involved and stressing over it. Thank you for staying. Appreciate it. I watched a video on how the sun's weather affects it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did see. I'm trying to think of who it was actually. It's the one that you and Homestead Aquarius like, who talks about solar weather, and it just went out of my head. This is part of the migraine too because I
Just
already have.
roll.
It's not Wages World. It's uh, observers, suspicious observers.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. Oh my gosh, I just looked up. Ta-da! Yes, that one. Thank you. Tuck by V. Good to see you.
I also
And
have a very good friend
oh,
that I
good, lovely Samaria. What was that? I'm sorry. What?
have a really good friend of mine I've known for years that follows the sun and stuff.
Yeah. My uncle was the supervisor of the hospital supply, shipping, and receiving. He told us that there's millions of dollars of equipment in the basement for years because the hospital ordered it with no one that knew how to use it. Oh,
Wow.
that's terrifying. Wow. Why would they do that? What? I'm trying to figure that out. What's the benefit of that? Write off? Tax write off?
More than
Huh.
likely, they get some money.
Yeah.
Well, we better make this look good. We'll spend this money on something we don't need. Then they realize that that's something they can't. They don't. No one's trained to use, so they just throw it in the basement somewhere.
Oh, it's a solar weather channel you were watching. Yeah, I've seen it on Suspicious Observers where he talks about how what is happening and coming towards us from the sun can cause tornadoes, can cause like weather anomalies, can cause earthquakes, like everything, how it affects the earth. So definitely we're in between the sky and the earth beneath our feet. It's got to hit us too and do stuff to us made out of the earth and the water. It's got to affect us. I know, like Passamaquoddy and I have talked about it, and you too. We've talked, Barry and I have, of the headaches we're getting all around the same time. We'll be getting headaches, or like he just said, he was having just the ocular migraine, but it's all around the same time. How does that happen? We're all in different areas of the country. I mean, we're towards the East Coast, but still, Barry's in more, and Passamaquoddy's way north. I'm way south. It's got to be something to do with the solar storms that are happening, and also too, like allergy season. It's really, really tough allergy season this year. Like we're on a straight, pretty much very high all week long for pollen. Even though you won't see it on our, what's so weird is you really won't see it on our cars, like up north when spring hits and how it'll just cover everything. Like we don't get that. Oh, are you serious? You're southeast too? Cool. I think I actually have your channel up. Let me see to go look at. I might have closed. Yep, I do. I do. But you have mostly your community tab, and then your playlists are not your, like you didn't create them. Are you gonna do any shorts or anything? That's awesome. Yeah, I'm in Southeast Florida too. I'm in Southeast Florida. I'm in Palm Beach County. I like that you can tell, like when I look at your picture, that does look like, is that Florida in your picture? It looks like our pines and palmetto uh, or sable palms. Is it sable palms? Anyway, sorry, got sidetracked when I saw that. It's all still there, wrapped in plastic. That's crazy. 3 years out of date. They didn't even sell it. Because that kind of stuff, like, they could have sold it or even donated it to somebody who could use it. Either that or somebody just made a really big mistake and tax write-off. But I would think they would want to clear it out for the space. Solar particles absorbed by the magnetic field, upper atmosphere, and the ground. Us. All right. Do you see? Did this hit in your head unlock a genius stone or something? Like what? Like just like you just rattled that off, and I'm like, how in the world? Okay, supercharged solar particles absorbed by the magnetic field. And isn't our magnetic field starting to fall apart? Like in certain places? Okay. All right. There's also is the fact that we are still coming out of the last little ice age. Oh, yeah. And then, okay, so we have an ice age, but then the next one with the solar maximum is when it's shown people have gone underground in history and built underground or built into the like sides of mountains that had outcroppings to get away from the heat. Is that kind of correct? I don't know. I have no immediate plans to upload. I'm more a student than a teacher. Oh, okay. Oh, it's where you want to be. You're near Fort Lauderdale. Okay. Yeah, we used to live down that way. You might have been who I was talking to in a live one time because we were talking about like Copans and we used to live off a sample for first 10 years. That I would never want to live off that road again. It is so crazy, but it's kind of crazy up here too. So, but it was getting really, really bad. I've had 22 years to consume time. To just consume the information. You've done really well. And M&T is from North Florida. Are you central or like north or west coast? I mean, east or west coast? M&T? I need to open your page again. I think I closed it by accident or it closed. You wouldn't believe what my laptop looks like, guys. And the thing is once I'm done with the live, I have to usually put this away and get ready for nighttime because the little man, I have to be sitting with it or, things can happen. Watch a lot of documentaries. Now I watch a lot of YouTube science stuff. Yeah. You okay? What do you need? A drink? Okay, here. There's your drink. I know. Yep. Oh, little tutor man over there. Oh, okay. Near Gainesville area. Okay. Yeah, I was looking up in that area. I'm not really sure what to do. Like M&T probably knows about this, and now so does Tuck IV. Our insurance. Like, how are we going to stay in Florida if they keep raising our insurance for home ownership? Even if we get land and, okay, Live Oak and Lake Wales. My concern with like moving up north, like in M&T, you'll have to tell us about how you feel about it since you are in northern and central Florida, is the sinkholes. Is there more opening up in these last years? Like it seems like I'm hearing more about them, excuse me, now than I did when I was younger, but it might have been just because I wasn't paying much attention when I was younger because I wasn't planning on moving like to northern part of Florida. Now, if we move though with insurance, I want to move out like of Florida because of the insurance. If we're going to do that big of a move and move from this area, which breaks my heart because I do like South Florida. And we got into this place on a foreclosure. So I can't imagine the people who paid full price, like us, a family like us, where they're on one income. No, they were just talking about raising the state's insurance that they cover homes by 15%. And I don't know if it passed. I have to look that up because if that passes, that means all across the board, they're going to raise the insurance rates, and all of us are already struggling.
10 years ago, they were denying people with solar on their house. They were denying them insurance down there.
That's crazy because probably it was the old solar and they wanted everybody to buy the new solar.
Well,
I don't know.
They had that insurance company came by and they're like, "Oh, you have solar? Why is this not on the insurance?" And well, since you have it on your house, we can't insure you because we think it's a liability. Well, if you had a professional put it in, then it's not a liability. It's on a professional, not you.
Right. I love that DCBs. I didn't want to move on. Yeah, I don't know what would cause it to be a liability, but I know they've been trying to sell it to all of us for the last couple of years. And we had just gotten our roof redone because you have to carry insurance once it's like past 20 years. I think they'll inspect it, but they'll raise your rates or not cover you if it's an over 20-year-old roof. And people were coming around, and my husband was like, "No, we just had the roof done. Nobody's going up on that roof like and cracking any of our tiles." Plus, when I was a little kid, I heard stories like, "I could give him wisdom, he'd give it to me if I asked." Oh, I love that. Yeah, down here, it's pretty much, I want to say, a scam, right? Tuck. They get people believing that, they can sell back to the grid, and they end up having to, unless they can pay for them outright, which I haven't heard yet, but they end up leasing the solar and having that bill, and then still having a bill for their electric. Something, they get caught. It's like catch 22, I've heard. We've just been in Florida 5 years. I think last one I heard of was an hour from here. There was no house on it yet, thank goodness. Yeah, that I saw one that was like that. It looked like they were about to put a house, like they had cleared it, the lot, and suddenly there was this huge sinkhole in it. Can you imagine if a poor person moved into their brand new house that they just paid for and it goes into a hole? God forbid any family members in it. Like, those kind of things scare me about the upper part of our state. Well, central and up. And we still have a freak one here and there, I think, below central. Oh, I didn't know that. What? They make it sound like it's so environmental.
Okay. Let me look out here to see if anything looks the better. Well, it's growing pretty good out there.
Did you drop it on your foot?
Sorry.
You okay? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. I might have to take a little break. Hey, Bayou Sugar. Need mommy to take a break? All right, I'll be right back. He's something fussing. Might be his pants. Good to see you, Bayou. Be right back. Just gotta check little man. Thank you, Barry.
Yep. Yeah, I get that. My drone has probably killed more bugs than my solar panels have, though. I took my drone up here a few days ago, and I heard it make some weird sounds, and I thought, shoot, I better bring it down. And there was bug juice all over that thing. And newer panels are made more environmentally friendly. If anything, those batteries that you buy, those lipos and all that stuff, those batteries there uh, are a lot like the batteries that you get in a Tesla. Where do they put those batteries when they're depleted? Well, they go in a landfill somewhere. The batteries are more detrimental to the environment than the solar panel themselves. But I'd rather make my own energy than have to pay an electric bill. And if I could afford it, there would be about 50 solar panels out there. I'm tired of paying out money to the electric company, and I know it's screwing me. And this morning, I was just telling my neighbor to pick the goblin that's on the radio. About 4:45 this morning, our power went out. for a couple seconds, came back on. I was asleep. And when it did, it kind of woke me up because the window air conditioner was running and made this awful noise when it came back on. I was pretty sure I saw a flash in my sleep that it could have been me just being jarred awake. But I don't know what caused that. I don't know if it was the whole area was without power or if it's just something localized. But it wasn't. It didn't last very long. Just a few seconds, and then I noticed that turned some lights on, and the lights weren't as bright as they should be. They were kind of flickering. And so, you won't get that with solar. And you won't get that with those solar power stations either. But, to each their own. I mean, if you can cut your bills down, which is what I would like to be able to do, being on disability, if you could minimize your cost of your bills right now is a plus. But every technology has got something that is not safe for the environment. These phones right here, if they're not recycled, they're just thrown off in some landfill somewhere. And this my phone, if I ever have to change the battery in this phone, you might as well forget it because I have to have somebody with the right tools to do it. This phone's sealed. So this is something that will end up in a landfill if it's not recycled. Yeah. You use the sun to purify water. I think what I like to build is a solar oven. Let's try that out for a day or two. It's creative, BCB. I use a solar-powered honey decrystallizer in my bucket wrapped in a black garden cloth. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's creative too. Mhm. Direct solar power to dry the clothes, right? Yeah, there's no point in running an oven or dryer at this point because you just had more heat in the house and you use more energy trying to keep your house cool. So yeah, if you can hang them clothes outside, plus they smell better.
Okay, sorry about that. Somebody
Right.
needed a snack and had to go potty. Yeah, I saw that just as I was leaving. I actually argue with my brother about he's out in California, so like he's like, "Oh, you're hurricanes." I'm like, we don't have wildfires down in South Florida and earthquakes that just can open up and, you know, do some damage everywhere." But yeah, the way things are going, I don't know. The plate tectonic stuff, maybe we are going to get them. I have no idea. Something everywhere. Yeah, everywhere something's going off. I just wanted to go back up real quick and see that. Yeah, the volcanoes. Oh my gosh, that's so terrifying. What was it? Homestead Aquarius was saying about Stromboli. Is that really what it's called, or was he just joking around with me?
Yeah, silly.
Okay. But yeah, he was saying that the volcanoes were going off at the same time. Here, let me pull you all closer. Oh, thank you. No lag. Oh, great. Thank you so much. Haven't tested it yet. but
Yeah.
videos.
Just before you left,
Cool.
Randy hollered at me on the radio and said he's got some corn he's going to bring up here later.
A what up there?
Or, huh?
I didn't hear what you said.
He's got corn he grew.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to bring it up here later.
It's ready. Nice. I miss that about up north. Like during the summer, it
Yeah.
comes in. No, I'm using direct solar power to dry clothes. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that solar power is definitely okay. Solar powered honeybee crystal. Oh, okay. I wonder. Yeah, I'd like to try and do a solar oven. I would love to have one too, Miss Sharon. I've heard of people using it and then it just doesn't work the same for them, but it depends, I think, where you're at. We have plenty of sun for a solar oven down here. How'd yours turn out? Is it Took or Tuck by V? I don't want to be saying it wrong. I'm probably missing something like with the name like I usually do. I'm wondering how it worked out because you're just, hey, Brittle Bob, you're just south of me. You're not too far. So,
I'm going to run to the restroom. I'll be right back.
okay. Yeah, he got two and he got a snack. I got nothing. I hope you and the missus are well, Brutal Bob. I've been wondering how it would be for bread, but now bread would be for my family and not me since I'm back to gluten-free. And then also I need to find something other than a lot of the gluten-free flours because a lot of those are crappy. Or has extent seismic activity. All tremors felt in Florida are either from the Caribbean seismic activity or non-seismic vibration from. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure because we had that ridge that goes up through the center of the state if we had anything. Oh, okay. Tuck works. Okay. Oh, like Friar Tuck and Robin Hood. Oh my goodness. Ages ago. And then Tuck, can I ask if you're a male or a female? I mean, it's okay if you don't want to say. Some people, you know, because we say she, he here. Not too many theys, but we say she, he. A lot, yeah. We called somebody. Okay, male. Okay. Because we have Sweet Thumb, who we all thought was a female for a while, and we have, because he just shows his hands. Don't know why we thought he was a female. I think I thought it was a male from his hands. And there was another account that we weren't sure of. And so, yeah, thank you very much. I kind of figured, but I wasn't sure because, women will make solar cookers too. I have to look that up. I've never heard. You've got the big vocabulary words too. And I'm just coming off a migraine, so mine are really, lower end. On the very low end now. I have slight dyslexia anyway. I'm going to write that down and look those up. So would you sell your designs then for the solar cooker? Is that what you were saying? Just for the concept of them? Like on Etsy or something? Oh, okay. The unknown knows by. Oh, okay. Look it up. But so have you given it a test run? Like what can you cook in it? Just about anything like an oven can cook? Because I've only seen the ones that are already pre-made. And other larger channels try those out. And those are not cheap, just like Miss Sharon says. I would love to have a solar cooker and I would love to have a dehydrator, but that's not in my budget with a one income family right now. So yeah. Maybe I can, start creating amazing content, and I'll just start making money from YouTube, and I'll be able to buy those things, but I don't foresee it right away. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, I know. Yeah, like mirror tape, like the duct tape mirror tape. That would melt though, right? Or like the stuff that we would use down here for insulation, like the real metal tape. I'm seeing a video of someone cooking pork chops in it. Wow. Yeah, I saw the one creator I saw, they made bread and it looked pretty amazing. And then I think they put like how you would use your like a stew pot. But it was ceramic, and they put that in there and they made like a stew, which blew my mind. It sounds easy. I mean, because people probably just go to junkyards or they're on like offer up and stuff. Oh my gosh, I'm addicted to offer up. I just scroll through that. Not that I need any more stuff, like plenty of stuff, but when I do need it, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I saw that on offer up. Oh, thank you.
You know,
Yeah, just in case. Well, actually, what I do need, and I've needed since we've moved in, like not need, what I want. I would like to replace our enamel sink because I don't know what the hell they did in it, but it's all crazed. Uh, it's rusting somehow. Like the enamel, they screwed up the enamel. I probably could just go and get the enamel because I've seen them do that for like old tubs and stuff. But it kind of looked like they tried that in the bottom and it didn't turn out right when we first got in here. Like it looked like, or it could have just been paint that they got on there.
I got
But
a
yeah,
double kitchen,
mm-hmm.
and the left one had a leak in it because I was washing dishes, and I'm like, where the heck is the water going? And I thought, well, maybe the stopper's no good. Well, there was nothing wrong with the stopper because the ex at the time reminded me, said, no, we just got that last week. I said, where the hell's the water going?
Right.
So I opened the cabinet door right underneath this thing.
No.
And this stream of water coming out of the tub of this. There's this pinhole. And I said, how does stainless steel break like that?
Right.
I fixed it. JB Weld.
JB Weld's some awesome stuff. Yeah.
I put some JB Weld on there that after about, a day it was good to use.
Yep. My dad loved that stuff. He always kept JB Weld in his garage. Always. Just, yeah. Sharon, I agree with you. Probably could. I was wondering if I could bake cookies in my car. Like I wanted to try that. I wanted to do that like on a short or something.
It's been done on the dash. Yeah.
Yeah, on the dash, just to see if we're at that temperature yet. Because they're always like, oh, it can get up to 160 degrees in a bowl. That does not feel, it feels like 200 and something in there when you open the door on certain days. But yeah, I always
over 120 in your car in the summertime. So.
Yeah, it gets crazy hot down here because I forget all the time to put the lovely thing that folds out in my windshield. I forget. Yeah. And yeah, it just bakes the inside of the plastic. In fact, we have a one-car garage, which is more like a storage unit for, for the size family and this size house. And plus the neighbor just so graciously gave my husband his pressure washer with even the disc thing. Right. Yeah. I was like, wow, but that's big and it takes up more space. And then I have all my dad's tools and stuff. But
store it for you.
Yeah, so we can't put a car like in the garage. And yeah, it just sits out and bakes in the sun so much so that I think you and I have talked about this. It cracked my dashboard in the very front from all that heat and just the direct sunlight. I'd never seen that.
Like 90 degrees, feels like 93, humidity is 41%.
Wow. I'm thinking maybe I didn't see it as much. Like when I grew up in Boca, my car, the way it was facing, like where I would park my car, like I had an older, like a Delta 88, and then oh gosh, I had this Mazda 626 that my father, I think his eyes rolled twice in his head when he saw it because we got it at auction. It was just like, what is that piece of crap? It was bad. It looked like it had been in a lot and just was baking and somehow got into that auction. I have no idea. Like they pushed it there because when I went to drive it home, it the timing chain broke. That's how much of a lovely piece of stuff it was. But anyway, that car, I had a Buick. That's the one that got stolen that we replaced the but with the
Hey, Brenda.
626. But I never saw that. And then I realized, oh, the back of my car was always to the east and the front was always to the west. So I don't know. And the way like the trees were and stuff, I don't know if it got as much direct sun. Brenda
I
came
know
in.
it's
Hey,
a,
Brenda.
but
Hmm?
you could, I mean, you could maybe get a cover for it, but
Yeah.
then again,
I
that
don't know
cover,
if they let them. I'm not
yeah.
sure if we're allowed to have covers on our cars in here. Reflective panel on my roof rack to try keeping my car cooler. Oh, you have zero shade. Yeah, where my car is, I have zero shade. Zero shade. Because basically, in the fronts of our houses, because I live in an HOA, like many people do in Florida, um, I have palm trees, and it's just a big stick in in the front yard. So, yep, not much shade at all. And we have to
Yeah,
get them trimmed. Yeah,
shade.
we don't have shade. I don't have shade like that.
I don't have any
Hey,
shade
Brenda,
either.
Brenda.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, we do in
Oh,
the backyard. We have the big strangler figs, which are native here. And right now, I just went out there when I got the moringa. They're dropping all their little tiny fig berries, which I wish I could put something out, like a little hammock to catch them to see if they're worth using for jam. But they are rotting underneath, and it's so nasty underneath the tree, like all the bugs and stuff to break it down. Ugh. My mother used to cook a roast on the exhaust manifold. What? Wow. That's
yep.
wild. That is
Yeah,
wild.
a lot of meals have been cooked on engines before.
Yeah, I've heard that. I have heard that. But that's pretty cool, Bob. Mom, that was creative. But I have heard that, especially, my dad's times that they're cooking on engines, and especially when they were, I think, overseas too. The GIs would heat stuff up if they had a car on the engine rather than, having to stop and make a fire and everything. They would use their engine. And my dad had the Jeep, as you know, he was a Jeep driver, but he could also drive the big rigs that they had over there too. He had all the special licensing. In fact, it was funny if Theron told me, I do not remember, but I forgot that he went overseas when he was doing his time in the army. He supposedly went over to Holland and Germany. My daughter was listening. He was having a conversation with an old friend from high school, and he was talking about it. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't remember him talking about that leg of his, service at all. But yeah, he one person in our family that got to go overseas. I would love to see Germany and Ireland, like, and Wales, because those are where most of the bloodlines come from that make me. Although it's Irish, I think Irish Scottish. I may or may not have heated canned soup and beef stew. That's fine. I think that's super creative. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. My husband's one that he can eat it right out of the can cold. And I think that's the old GI trick too, or just being a guy. I don't know. Don't want to heat it up at the end of the day's work and just crank it open and eat it. Where's in 45 minutes? We had dinner on the rattle. That's awesome.
A
What
lot
a
of their
wonderful, wonderful.
a lot of their MREs back then didn't have that heating.
The heating pack.
You know,
They didn't.
you
Yeah.
eat it like it was, or you try to find a way to cook it.
Oh, that sounds so nice. The Amish bulk store. I wish we had one. We just have Costco
And if ours is still open,
and BJ's and Sam's. But yours is what? Still.
I don't know if ours is open. There's one down towards Liberty, Kentucky, but I don't know if it's still open or not.
Mm.
You can buy in bulk.
Yeah, we had the stores like, up in PA, easier to get to, but don't know of any Amish. They come down here on
I love
vacation, I've heard. Central. Huh?
yeah, the bags of like pre-made soups.
Mm-hmm.
It was more natural stuff. It wasn't mild
Yeah,
sodium. Stuff.
probably has a lot of sodium in it. Yeah, a lot of they we have a cookbook from the Amish. I can't eat like it was like cream soup in almost all the dishes. I was like, what? I'm like, what? They're so self-sufficient, and yet they put like cream soup in all the Campbell's cream soup too. Like, oh, one can of Campbell's cream soup. I'm like, wait, what? You're living off the land. What is this?
Yeah.
But they do know how to can. I mean, I would love to have some of their pantries of all the stuff that they've grown and canned, and I would love to go to their bulk stores. But do they, Duncan? Is it mostly like stuff from that they're growing, or they're just the owners of the bulk store rather than a Costco or a Sam or a BJ's? Because I've never been to a bulk store. I've been to like Amish stores in Lancaster, but never been to an Amish bulk store to get supplies. Well, I'm not going to keep you guys here any longer, but I want to wait to see if she's probably putting things away. Oh, I know I'm petting our little girl here. She's got the biggest, she needs her eye boogers cleaned and stuff. I can't believe this little dog, how she gets that stuff.
He's getting some weight on him.
Oh,
Like he's not chubby or anything. He's big now.
probably from hanging out inside so he doesn't fight with anybody.
They're fixing to move, I think.
Oh, really? The ones that he fights with? Hopefully they take their cats and don't leave them behind. I've known you for years now, and I still can't tell the cats
As soon as
apart.
I'm letting them outside because it's not really
Yeah.
fair to him see everybody else go out except for him.
Yeah, and he can't. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Got several bags of frozen strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. Ooh, that's a great price.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here and hearing my story of, me finding out, like, messed around and found out. I hope that, you can find ways to decrease your pain this week as we are apart, or whoever you're listening for, if it's a loved one. And tonight, I'm going to try Fri-Yay, but I don't have my usual co-host. Maureen is away, so it's going to be weird. So weird. I'm so used to going live with Maureen as my co-host. Oh, hey, RLM. I'm just wrapping it up, RLM. But if you have time, go ahead and hit the replay. You can hear my silly story in the beginning. Those we should know better stories by, I don't know, going to be 54. Ooh, can't say it. It's just creeping up on me. Creeping up on me. I'm still 20 as part of me, I've at least aged a little bit on the inside. I used to be 16 for so long.
Right? Yeah.
Well, thanks, Barry, for coming up. I appreciate you keeping me company. I really appreciate it. And tonight 11:30 and then p.m. Eastern time is Fri-Yay nighttime. And let's see, we have well, Maureen will not be doing her live on Saturday night, but we have Barry, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. What is it, 8:30 Central? Your time? Yeah. Okay.
Well,
All
my
right,
time,
everybody.
I'm on your time, Eastern.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought you were on Central for a second there.
Because my
Maybe.
state's split up in 2 time zones.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think Laura's on Central. I think on that other side of the state, right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
In fact, I forgot to text her. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate you sharing this time with me and taking your time to hang with us. That means a lot, more than you know. And we will catch you either tonight or we will catch you Sunday night or next week. All right? Hopefully Sunday night if you missed mine tonight. Have a good one. God bless you.
Night.
Bye, everybody.